I am going to double down on my take that Penn State is good, but not number 3 in the country good. They should be like number 8 or number 9. Jacob Goins, Locked On Hoosiers, Roman Tomashoff, Locked On Huskies, still with me here. Are any of you going to join me in this glorious upset pick? It's in Madison, great crowd. Wisconsin's figured it out. I'm going Luke Fickell and the boys here over Penn State, top 5 upset in college football this weekend. Wisconsin wins, low-scoring game, 24-21.
I'll jump on the fact that Penn State is not as good as people think they are, and they are in the top 5 because there's nobody else to put in there. I think that's a really, really good way to put it because they've won their games, sure, but they've yet to win a game that's been like, wow, what a great performance. What a great win. Penn State's a really good football team. And until they show me that, I just can't buy in. I'm with you, Spencer. Give me Wisconsin. I'm going to do it. I'm going to hop on the train. It's not going to happen because everybody in America wants it to happen. But I think Wisconsin, like you said, they're figuring it out at the right time. And Penn State has 1 or 2 games a year where they just lose when they're not supposed to. I'm going to take Wisconsin in the upset.
I'm going to stick with Penn State here. One of the big reasons is I had them in the Big Ten championship game before the season. I got to stick with it. Got to stick to the agenda there. So I'm happy with where they are right now. I think that we saw them avoid that near letdown, as we do see that every year, Jacob. We saw them avoid it at USC for one reason or another. We don't need to get into why, but this offense has been really solid. I know they're still top 10 in terms of yards per game, and I think they can figure it out. I think they still have another gear that they can find. That defense is still really solid. Yeah, give me Penn State here.
I was impressed with their USC performance. I was more impressed with their West Virginia performance. I don't think they have played as complete of a game since that week 1 win in Morgantown against the Mountaineers. So we're taking Wisconsin there. How about this one? Michigan State. This is a round of field goal spread. I think Michigan finally figures it out. You know, Michigan State, I picked their upset last week against Iowa at home. They're on the road in the Big House. I like Jonathan Smith. He's going to be just fine in East Lansing. Might even get them to a bowl game this year, which would be a good accomplishment. But I think Michigan wins a slugfest here, 17-10.
I said on the Big Ten Squad show that came out on all of our channels that I'm watching this game incredibly close because Indiana still plays Michigan State next week and Michigan coming up on the schedule. So I'm watching this game very intently. I think Michigan finds a way to win. It's going to be a gross game, but a close game. I just think, believe it or not, Michigan may have a little bit more firepower. Is that the right word to say on offense? I don't know. They at least have
definitely not.
Firepower and Michigan offense, they don't go together.
They don't. According to our friends at FanDuel, 40.5 is the total here. That's disgusting. Give me Michigan by a point, maybe, but I'll take Michigan because it's at home at the Big House.
Every time I've picked Michigan this year, they've lost. That being said, I'm picking Michigan again this week where I'm with you, Jacob. I look at this defensive line and I just think it's overwhelming. Aiden Childs has turned the ball over a decent amount this year. So I think that they're going to get some pressure on him and force him into a couple of turnovers.
Ohio State hosts Nebraska, favored by well over 20 points in this game. I think this is a statement opportunity for the Buckeyes at home. I love that defense. I think it looks kind of similar to the way the Indiana-Nebraska game went last week. Give me the Buckeyes 42-10 over the Cornhuskers.
I love getting the Ohio State comparisons. Our friend Jay Stevens is so mad somewhere in Columbus right now because I agree. I hate to be agreeing with Spencer, but I'm spot on with you. I think Ohio State just does what they're supposed to do. They've got big games left on that schedule. Nebraska's not one of them. If this was in Lincoln, okay, and if this was a game where, you know, Nebraska had possibly beaten Indiana last week or at least kept it close, I would feel better about this game. But, man, the way they just got drug up and down the field and beat down against Indiana, it's going to be 2.0 versus Ohio State.
I've got a bold prediction in this game. Ohio State wins 49-0. It's a shutout.
Wow. The Buckeyes defense with a big game against Dylan Raiola and company.
I like it.
I respect that. I respect that. I didn't think they would allow a point against Iowa. They allowed one measly touchdown. That Buckeyes defense is no joke. Only team to really score on them this year is Oregon, who I hear is a pretty good team. They've ascended to the number 1 ranking in the country. I just found that out earlier today. You're telling me now for the first time.
Then you're not doing your job as a neutral arbiter of college football.
Well, you know, I try to cover everyone in a fair and balanced manner. Oregon 38-10 over Illinois.
Look, Illinois, they've somehow found themselves at 6-1, still a top 25 team. I don't know how, I don't know why, but that ends this week. Oregon's going to unleash. They're going to expose what Illinois is, the lack of offense they have. The defense can only carry them so far. I've got Oregon. Give me 42-7, guys. Oregon rolls against Illinois.
Excellent prediction, Jacob. Roman.
I think Illinois has exposed some teams that are not good this year, i.e. Michigan. But with that being said, because of this lovely flag behind me here for all our YouTube viewers, I will not say who's going to win this game. I will just say I will agree with both you gentlemen.
Wow. Okay. Roman going out on a big time limb here. Let's see if we can get anyone to do that as we breeze through the last few games here. USC and Rutgers, these teams are combined 2-7 in Big Ten play after strong starts in the non-conference. This is a long trip, late kick for Rutgers. Weird Big Ten game on Friday night. Give me USC to finally win a game, 34-27.
Yeah, and USC favored by going on 2 touchdowns. Like, since when have we just all of a sudden said, oh, yeah, USC is good enough to outscore them by 2 scores? They'll win. Rutgers will keep this close. I mean, they do still have a winning record, believe it or not. So, look, I don't know. Is anybody really going to watch this on a Friday night? Sure, if you want to and have nothing else.
I'm a sicko.
I'm sorry. You have to. It's not my job to watch Rutgers and USC. We don't play them. I don't care. I'll take USC to win, but Rutgers will keep it closer than the bettors think.
There are 2 things that I love here. The first one is watching Kyle Monangai because he's not playing the Huskies. Watching Kyle Monangai run is a treat. The other one is picking against USC and watching them lose. So give me Rutgers here. I think they're pissed off after losing to a terrible UCLA team. I think they go on the road, get the upset.
Yeah, not a good performance for Greg Schiano's team at home last week, losing to UCLA. UCLA is not good, and they won a football game somehow, some way. I don't know if Minnesota's a good team. I don't think they're a bad one. I don't think they're a good one. Maryland, off the big win against USC. This screams emotional letdown spot for me. Give me Minnesota. Give me Minnesota big, 27-13.
Wow. See, okay, I'm going the other way. Minnesota's favored. They're at home. I think Maryland feeds off the win a week ago. Give me the Terps. I think they keep it rolling. That'll put them at, 5-3? Is that right? Maryland, keep it.
It would indeed.
I mean, hey, you never know. Don't sleep on that Maryland team. I'll take them over Minnesota. Why not?
Jacob, I'm with you. I like the way the Terps sling the rock all over the yard. I think they're a fun team to watch sometimes when they're able to get it right. And, I think Maryland wins this game.
And last but certainly not least.
Oh, don't do it.
Maybe least. Northwestern at Iowa. Speaking of a team in need of a bounce back, Iowa loses at Michigan State last week. I thought they would get upset there of sorts. They weren't ranked per se. Indeed, they did. They're favored by about 2 touchdowns over Northwestern. I think this is an Iowa defense game, 20-3 over the Wildcats.
We talked about a game that was a total of 40.5 earlier. FanDuel has this at 37.5.
Oh.
37 points, gentlemen, in a Division I Power 4 college football game. That's illegal. That should be illegal. Look, Iowa's going to win. Northwestern's terrible. It won't be pretty. Give me Iowa 31-7, I think.
Oh, you're taking the over? Because I'm taking the under here.
I'm with Roman under, man.
You have to. I want to take the over just because I think it should happen. It's one of those should happen bets.
It should.
So I'll roll with it.
Sure, it should. It's not going to. Give me the under here. Iowa, this Northwestern team is just not fun football.
That's week 9 in the Big Ten. Jacob Goins, Locked On Hoosiers. Roman Tomashoff, Locked On Huskies. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate all of you as well. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. And until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.